Welcome to Amalgam Hour, the moving com podcast. I'm Robin.
I'm Dan.
I'm not even going to lie, I 100% want to say I'm Dan. I did. But today, ladies and gentlemen,
I was yawning.
Yeah. Today we'll be ranking, technically reviewing all of Batman's villains. And when I say all, how many, Dan?
12.
12. Because there's only so much room on the ranking sheet. But it leaves us room to do... I feel like we could get a part 4, you know? Because there's so many villains.
For the amount of Batman villains, yeah.
Like we could do Mr. Zaz, Professor Pig. But that's when I feel like I'll need to read a lot more Batman than I already have. Because a lot of this will be based off stuff that's not even like in comics. We'll be ranking them both on comics, shows, and movies. Just our general, like, if you hear the word Mr. Freeze, what's your instant, like, but then you
What
don't...
killed the dinosaurs?
Yeah, what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. But then, like, you don't have to count that, you know? Like, that's not going to bring your mark down.
Yeah.
If anything, it's going to bring mine up, because who doesn't love a bit of Arnold shouting, what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age! Okay. I always forget to not put the mic in front of where I'm recording. Not the mic, my mouse.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my cursor. Because all they'll see is the Infernum Amalgam Hour logo, and then just my mouse quickly zip across it. But there we go. What are we ranking first then? Oh, Bane! Bane! Oh. Now this is a thing. I'm not going to count Batman and Robin.
Best intro I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting more used to it now, so I'm not being like a robot.
Yeah.
I'm not like, this is Amalgam Hour. We are discussing. I'm like, I'm a human. I don't need a script.
Yeah.
Okay, Bane.
Okay, yeah.
Bane. The city is yours. Do I like Bane? I don't know. I like the movie Bane. I like the Harley Quinn show Bane. I know that.
Yeah.
Damn you, chicken satay. But I think he's been so parried to the point now that anytime I see him in a comic, I'm like, you know?
Yeah.
But I used to really like him like a year or two ago. The what was it? I think it was Tom King's Iron Bane storyline.
Oh yeah, I read
like
that.
Do you know when Batman makes his own Suicide Squad, and then they go to Bane's thing? I know. Oh, what does Batman repeatedly say in that? He's like, Bane, I'm coming to your island to get what I want. If you don't give it to me, I will break your damn back. I'm like, fucking okay. I mean, calm down, Batman.
Jeez.
And I love, in that story, Bane breaks Batman's back again. And then Batman just clicks it into place. He's like, nope, I'm used to it. I'm like, what the hell was that?
I'm used to you picking me up and smashing my back in half.
I'm like, what the hell is that? So he definitely doesn't belong in A tier, which is where I've got him right now. Where does he belong?
It's more of a mid tier, I think. For me, at least.
Because D is in the middle, technically, if you don't look at A. Because A is, if people don't know, A is top notch, our favourites. B is great. C is good. D is mild. E is pretty trash. And then F is Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. There you go. That's what F is. The thing is, I like him in Nightfall. I love his plan, but he peaked so early. It's incredible. You know?
What, sort of like Carnage over a Marvel?
Yeah. Okay.
What about Dark Knight Rises, B?
I like it, but it's not that necessary. So where are you going to put it, Dan? I won't tell you where I put it, so I don't influence your vote.
C.
Oh, we put in the same place. Oh, that's nice. What's
He's
your
very
reason?
mid. He's not like...
Yeah.
Because I like him. I like the idea of him.
Yeah, C is
but he's
still
not like...
good.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think the main reason is, for one, I like the mask. For two, I like the idea of Venom and the addiction side of him. I like the idea of him being brute strength and intelligence, even though we don't get that a lot. You know?
yeah,
We usually just get him as brute strength, but I love his backstory of escaping the unescapable prison. You know? I think Nightfall and Iron Bane is the only reason, and Harley Quinn, but that's more parody than anything, is the reason why I put him in C. What's your reasoning, Dan? Or is it just
the idea of it.
Yeah. Oh.
Also, I kind of liked him in the I Am Bane thing.
Yeah.
That was really like my first. My first read him in a comic thing.
Yeah. Because we own Nightfall, but I'm 100%. I'm never going to read Nightfall. I'm glad I own it.
Working myself,
but I'm not reading a 1,000-page, because then you got Nightfall, Night's End, Night's Quest, and it was just like,
all you need to know from that is just like he breaks his back.
Yeah, pretty much. Because he's not even in Nightfall a lot. Because all he does is set stuff up. He's like, release everyone in Arkham, do all of this, you know, and then just at the very end, he picks up Batman, goes snap, and he's like, and that's over. And then at the end,
like the man who broke the bat.
Yeah, at the end he defeats Batman and then just goes, "Yep, this is my city now." And I'm like, I don't think that's how that works, Bane. I don't think you can just stand on a building and go, "This is my city." You gotta like actually do stuff.
Well, like he did in the Dark Knight Rises.
Oh yeah. Thing is, I
Blow
like
up
that
all
film.
the bridges.
I like that villain.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it didn't hit me hard enough, you know.
What I didn't like about it is he just became like someone's lackey at the end of it.
Yeah. I was like, no, Bane's a genius. And I like Tom Hardy in the role, even though people are like, I can't barely understand him. I'm like, nah, I'm alright.
Well, I could.
Yeah. People are just deaf then. Okay. Here's the one and only Jack Napier. Don't know why I got called that. There's nothing we can say about him, is it? There's nothing we can say. He is the Joker. This is the thing. I love the Joker. The thing is, my instinct is to put him in A tier. Just instantly. Just before I'm even thinking, just boom, A tier.
Joker's high up just because he's Joker.
But then I'm like, but also, do I care that much?
I love his movie.
Love the movie. Love, which one is it? Dark Knight Returns? Dark Knight Begins? Which one is it?
Oh, the Dark Knight.
Is it just the Dark Knight, is it? I love him in that. There's aspects of Jared Leto's I like. Surprisingly. No, not his laugh. Bloody hell.
He goes,
I love him in The Killing Joke. Because when we get to... We're probably also going to do a video like ranking the best Batman stories. Yeah. Like we've got so many video ideas about ranking stuff. Because it's an easy format. And it's useful. And I already know Killing Joke is going in A. For me. Not because it affected my life heavily. It's because it's such a beautiful story that I've just got to put it in
short.
Yeah. But it's still 99 pages long.
Yeah, well, that's short for a comic. But the story is telling, that's quite short.
Yeah. And it's just... But it doesn't even feel like 99. It feels shorter. But then... There's not much else. I think it's more the idea of the Joker I like more than the Joker.
He's Batman's arch nemesis.
Yeah. Because most of the time when he's like being too jokey, like Dark Knight's Metal, hate that book. The idea of Batman becoming the Joker, that's an okay idea.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. I instantly don't know. His stuff with Barbara Gordon coming from Killing Joke is great. Him and Jason Todd. You know?
Yeah. Oh, when he kills, Jason Todd.
Robin. Which I'm like...
Joker's he's just iconic, and that's...
Exactly.
Really him. Because like any superhero, you're like, oh, this villain is this person's Joker.
I literally have a Killing Joke poster on my wall, and it's looking at me right now. I don't know.
I don't want to put him in E because I'm not like, oh my god, it's the Joker, I love him.
I dressed up as him for Halloween. Like, I feel like I have to put him in A. But you know what's surprising? You know me, I've written so many Batman stories.
Yeah. He's never in them.
He's in the one book he's in the most. He's being mind controlled by Mad Hatter, and it's not even the Joker. Technically, you know? Yeah. And then in the other story I have, Batman's Dead Earth, the Joker's not in it, but the Joker laughing gas is. So I think the idea of him is the best thing out of it, you know?
He's just the only person really who's been able to beat Batman.
I feel like
he's not a physical threat.
It's B or A, you know?
For me, it's B.
Yeah. I'll just put yours straight into B then.
But I haven't really had that much exposure to him actually reading comics.
Yeah.
So I spent like 10 years reading Batman before I read a Joker comic with him.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? I think I have to put him in A just for Scott Snyder's run on him.
I haven't read that, so...
You have to read that.
Yeah, I intend to, I just haven't done it yet.
There's this beautiful scene where obviously in Scott Snyder's run, he's like got his face removed and he's just put it back on, hasn't he? Like tape and stuff. Yeah. There's a beautiful scene where Joker is in GCPD and the lights are off. And the entire time Joker is like singing or something. And all Gordon, like every time you just see a bang and one side of the room lights up as another GCP member dies. And Gordon's just like, I don't even know where to aim, don't know where to shoot, I'm just panicking in a corner. And then it gets to where Joker's like 1 inch away from his face. And I'm like, oh, you know? Like this one scene just made the Joker for me. But he's been used so much, and this is the thing. If Joker wasn't used as much as he was, I would probably put him in A. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm going to put him in A. I know I am.
You like him.
But there's so much of overuse of the Joker in bad stories.
Yeah.
Because, what was it? Tynion's run? He's currently on Batman right now, isn't he? I hate what he's doing with the Joker. And Joker War, and I think...
Oh, yeah, I saw something about the Joker War.
Yeah, and then the jokes and riddles I didn't care for.
Yeah, my first exposure to Joker in the comics was the War of Jokes and Riddles.
Yeah. Which, how's that event?
When I read that, I was like... Things. I read that when it first came out, like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So I haven't really got strong memory of it, but it was alright. I quite enjoyed it. I think
I'm putting it in A just for the, like, cultural zeitgeist around him, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like, he's a thing.
You never have a Batman who hasn't faced a Joker.
Yeah.
Which is why Joker was in Justice League.
Yeah. And I love seeing designs for the Joker and people playing with the character and stuff. Do you know, though, I've attempted to redesign the Joker so many times, but I'm never, ever happy with it. I don't know why. There's just something about the Joker that I'm never happy with the design. And I think
never get what you want.
Yeah, and I think it's because there's been so many that
Didn't you love the Mortal Kombat Joker design? I
really did. So,
actually, wait a minute. Move Joker up to A for me.
Well, just because...
Injustice just come into my mind.
Oh, the comic run.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'll give it to you.
Love him in that. Though he's not in it much.
Yeah. And now I've got
faces
to figure
Superman
out which
for
layer.
5 seconds, just breaks him.
Yeah, I haven't read it, so I'm not going to be overthink with it. But I like the Joker's plan in that. Yeah. My brain's like, no, he doesn't deserve to go in A. But then the rest of my brain's like, no, he belongs in A. And I'm like, I don't know what to do then, you know?
I just had a sudden realization that he was in Injustice.
Yeah. There's
and you know how much I love that run thing.
Yeah. There's a lot of Joker I don't like, but I think that's because of his overuse. Like All-Star All-Star Batman and the Boy Wonder. I hate when he's in that because he's like Jared Leto's Joker. I hate what Scott Snyder ended up doing with Joker, where he's this immortal being who has been here for centuries. And I'm like, no, shut up. I'm like, I don't care.
I like the idea that it's not always the same Joker.
Yeah, 3 Jokers was interesting to read or to hear about, but then I'm like, do we need that? Do we?
It's like the idea that it's like people who are the Joker are just so nuts, and Batman never knows who he is. That it's like,
yeah,
it could be anybody, and it literally has been different people.
Yeah, and I like the Batman. What was it, 89 version with Jack Nicholson?
Oh, yeah.
And that's only because I always love the thing of him holding the gun to Bruce Wayne and going, have you ever danced in the pale moonlight or something like that? No, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? And I'm like, that's fun, you know? And who doesn't love...
And Batman goes, do you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts! And then it's like...
Michael Keaton going full Joker on him.
I also like the 1960s, like, Batman show Joker. He was fun in that. But I feel like I'm just waffling now because I don't want to put him in A.
Yeah.
But I've got to keep him in A. Now, who's
next? Let's move on to the next one then.
Oh, hush. Ooh. Hush, Daniel. Bloody hush.
Now, I like the Hush story.
Yeah.
But Hush isn't what I like about him.
Yeah. I'm instantly putting him... The viewers will see where I've put him. And where are you going to put him, Dan?
For me, he automatically goes down about 15 tiers just for being in the Batwoman show.
Oh, yeah. Is he in the Batwoman show, is he?
Yeah, he's in it. He gets his ass beat by some dumbass in a van.
Fair enough. Because I've only read Hush with him in. I haven't read Heart of Hush. I haven't read anything else with him in. But...
Yeah.
So where are you going to put him?
He's either D or E.
Go on, choose.
D.
Ooh, I put him in E. And I'll tell you why. Because it uses my least favourite comic book convention in storytelling. Introduce a character.
Go on.
I wonder who the villain is.
Yeah.
You know? It's what is in the worst mysteries I've ever read or seen, you know?
Yeah.
And that's I've put him in E. Because there's fun stuff in that story with him involving the Joker. Making him think Batman. Like, Thomas Elliot as a character I like. And then making Batman think he's actually dead. And the whole idea of it's like, I tried to kill my parents and your father saved them. You know? So this is why he's angry at Bruce Wayne. But then I'm like, the execution. I think in
Batwoman, it's like he gets so pissed because Bruce Wayne is Batman and saves his parents.
Yeah. There's not even much I can say about him. I'm glad he doesn't come up a lot.
Yeah, he's hardly used.
Yeah, I think he's only been used in like 2 stories. But because Hush is so well known, everyone says Hush is one of the best Batman stories ever told, and I'm just like, You know?
Good story.
Yeah, it's fun.
Just Hush isn't the best bit of it.
Yeah. I think,
Which he probably should be, but he's not.
Because I feel like you could have given his entire shtick to someone else. You know?
Yeah.
Like, give him to Nigma or something. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe this was a Bane plot. I don't know. Just hush. I don't.
It's just a new villain. They need to introduce him sometimes.
Yeah. Who's next? Scarecrow. Oh, I keep messing up the layer thing, so I keep moving everyone's rank. Scarecrow. I like Scarecrow. But I don't think I've ever read a story where he's used effectively. You know?
Yeah.
I think my favorite Scarecrow thing is from the Arkham game? And I've never played it.
Oh, where you should, yeah.
I've just seen scenes.
I played the first two.
Yeah. I've just seen scenes of, like, his fear toxin affecting people. You know?
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't think I've ever read a story where... Because he doesn't get used a lot. But he'll just be in random scenes. Where it's like, oh yeah, Batman's fighting all of his rogues, and there's a guy in a Scarecrow mask in the background. Yeah,
Scarecrow's there.
And I'm like, yeah, you could use so much more with him.
Yeah. Because I think, I'm trying to think what I've read him in. He's in Injustice for like 2 seconds. He just gets killed. I think he gets killed anyway.
There's one story where he becomes a fear lantern, and I'm like, that's fun. That's fun to play with.
Yeah, because he would be.
Yeah. Like, he's the most perfect.
Actually, I don't think he gets killed because he's in Injustice too.
Yeah. But, like, Tinian's doing something with him now in the current Batman run. Because currently, the viewers are seeing the image of Scarecrow, and he's not wearing the Scarecrow mask. Because I've used the most recent image of Scarecrow, which is Scarecrow in a hay hat with a gas mask and the needle fingers from the Arkham games. It's really over-designed, which you know I hate. But
yeah,
I'm like, at least they're doing something with him, you know.
There's not much like I like him. I think he's a good idea.
Yeah.
And
I don't think they use him enough.
Which is he in? Is he in one of the films? He's in Batman Begins, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like one of the side villains.
That film is. I literally can't remember any part of it. I can remember is the scene of Scarecrow talking to the guy in the that room, and he pulls out the Scarecrow mask, and he's like, the guy is freaking out about it. That's all I've got. And then the end thing, where it's like all the horses and the people of Gotham becoming scared and stuff.
Yeah.
Other than that,
that's not his plan. That's Razz Algool's plan.
Yeah. I wish they used him more, because we've discussed this. I have a run where Batman uses fear a lot more in his work, and Scarecrow's a main villain in that. They need to make that comparison even more, that they both use fear, which they've definitely discussed before. But there's something about that now, where it's like a person of authority is using fear to scare people, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that could be a fun story to play with. But other than that, I don't think he's used enough.
He's hardly used at all.
Yeah. Where are you putting him then?
Unless I'm just reading the wrong stories.
Yeah, but it's like... There's probably definitely like Legends of the Dark Knight issues where he's the main lead, you know?
Does he have like, you know, like those Arkham stories where it's like, oh, this is the best moments from these villains?
He definitely has
Does he have one?
I feel like we should get all those books one day. I just admire
I've only got the Killer Croc one, which I think he's in this list.
Yeah.
But...
yeah. So where are you going to put Scarecrow, Dan?
It's got to be D, because I don't like him as much as Bane.
All right. I like him as much as Bane just for the gimmick alone, and I've got great ideas for him, and I love the design. Like, all the designs. The one from the game, technically the newest one in the comics, his original one. And then I think my idea for Scarecrow was, he's wearing a Scarecrow mask with a long, like, do you know Ghostface? Do you know his in the first Scary movie?
Yeah.
Where it's like the long black cloak. He wears that but brown. And then he's just got a noose around his neck. And I was like, it's so simple, but I still like it. So there's so much you can do with him.
My main problem with Scarecrow is just, he might have something where he does this, but I've never seen him actually be a problem.
Yeah. I don't even know his motives. I know he loves Fear, because of course he does. But then, like...
Yeah. I've seen him in Gotham, and it's like his dad trying to get rid of Fear and something, and then he directs his son with something or whatever, but...
Yeah. Because...
It just makes him a crazy man.
Yeah. Because this is the thing, with Spider-Man villains, you know all of their motives. They might not be as linked, like... Mysterio hasn't got personal stakes with Batman. You know?
Like, Spider-Man, you mean?
Yeah, Spider-Man. Like, there's no, like, moral justice between them. But then with Spider-Man villains, you know their motives. With Batman villains, sometimes it gets iffy. Where it's like, okay, Bane wants to take over Gotham because he's escaped from the prison, whatever. But then what's Scarecrow's?
Yeah.
What's Riddler's? You know?
Riddler, I think a lot of them, they're just crazy.
Exactly. Which I'm like, well, that's why Arkham
Which works for Joker.
Yes. I feel like Joker would hit a lot harder if he was the only crazy, like in quotations, you know?
Yeah.
Like if instead...
But that's just a lot of them.
Batman's lineup was Bane, Penguin, and... I don't know, someone else. And then you threw in a Joker. It would mean a whole lot more. But where it is now, I'm like, I'm like, that's not... I don't think they're all necessary. Especially with how close Riddler and Joker can be sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You can...
I was about to say, speaking of thinking the next one was Riddler, it's actually Two-Face.
Two-Face?
Yeah.
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 Not a big fan.
Really? I really like Two-Face. But that's because...
He's better than Scarecrow.
Yeah. I really like Two-Face as long as he's not in a story where he's already Two-Face.
You like his origin?
I love Harvey Dent and what he means to Bruce Wayne, what he means to Gotham, what he means to Jim Gordon.
I like him in The Dark Knight.
Yes.
Where he's like, his origin is just Joker's plan.
Yeah. And that makes perfect sense, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you haven't read the Harleen book, that was Black Label, that recently came out. He is great in that, because Harleen's trying to do a certain thing with science. Being like, oh yeah, these people aren't born, they're made. Sort of thing. And Harvey Dent's against that, and then that leads him to becoming Two-Face. And then he goes, like, he gets a Two-Face gang. And I'm like, yes, I want to see Harvey Dent's origin and his first ever mission. And then anything other than that, and I don't care. You know?
Yeah.
I wish they played in comics more the anti-hero side of Two-Face more. Where it's like, no, he is two people. He's Two-Face and Harvey Dent.
Yeah, it's basically got a split personality.
Yeah, but usually you
just only literally you can see it.
Yeah. Usually you only see the Two-Face side where he's doing his villainous actions.
Yeah, just the crazy side.
Yeah, and I'm like, I like the Mayor Dent. I like that sort of stuff. Long Halloween, beautiful. I believe in Harvey Dent.
I haven't read... Oh, yeah, I know that line.
Yeah.
I've read it. I haven't read it for like 8 years.
Yeah. Just that line alone, I'm like, yes. And his origin is that. I love. Him and his wife relationship, love it. I love the origin more than I love the character. Which is like weird to say, but yeah.
Because the origin usually directly related to someone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's sort of like a consequence of what's been going on in Gotham.
And I love that idea as well, of like, Bruce Wayne could have grown up to be a Harvey Dent-like figure. But then and still have the anger of the Two-Face side. So I think it's just interesting.
Yeah.
But I've only ever just, like, because we didn't think about this before we ranked them. I literally just told you today, hey, we're ranking Batman villains. And I haven't thought about this either. But it's interesting, the idea of I only like the origin. So where are you going to put him, Dan? Where are you going to put him?
I'd say I like him more than Scarecrow.
Yeah, and you've put...
But not as much as Bane.
Yeah.
But I'd still think he has to be in C.
Okay.
That's where I put Bane, right?
Yeah. I've put him in B just because of the origin alone. And then I haven't read anything else with him in. You know?
I don't think, apart from not Killing Joke, what is it, Long Halloween?
Yeah.
I think that's all I've read him in.
Yeah. And then he's always in
maybe
the
background. Maybe a background character in something else.
He's always the background. And
like, I know he was in one of the Arkham games I played, but he just got his ass kicked by Catwoman.
Yeah.
That was it.
I love his design in... Oh, yeah, I've seen that cutscene. And I like his design in that, where it's like the white and black pin-up striped suit.
Yeah.
And then I love... There's loads of different designs for him, where it's like you could have the movie version, where it's actually burnt. You could have the one I least like, where it's just like green on one side, you know? Because of when he was first made. But then there's so many designs which I'm like, yep, that works. Whether it's like the half-cut suit, or it's the Arkham style, or even Batman White Knight. There's something about it where his eye stands out so much because it's in a void of black. And he's got grey hair on one side and it's very stylized. But that's just me talking about fucking, like, a design of a character more than actually how much I like that character.
Yeah.
And we haven't even talked about the flipping the coin thing. It's fun. You can play with that, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, and Arkham Asylum, a serious house on a serious... whatever the hell. You haven't read that, have you?
No.
I'm pretty sure this is the story. Or it might be in something else. Something to do with Arkham. He's in Arkham and they take away his coin. And as soon as they take away his coin, he can no longer make a decision for himself. He just like...
Yeah, because he's always relying on the coin.
He'll just pee where he lays. He won't sleep. He won't do anything. So then they start doing stuff where it's like, okay, instead of a coin, we'll give him a 6-sided dice. And then as soon as he gets it, he starts like rolling it. And whichever number it goes on, he'll go with that decision. Like he's like, okay, 1 is kill this person, 6 is keep them alive. If I get a 3, I'll injure them. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then they keep going up and up. Where now he is a 20-sided dice. And now he's got like tarot cards that he plays with and stuff. Yeah?
Yeah.
Which I'm like, that's such an interesting idea. That, what would you do as a doctor? You would get him to the point where there's so many decisions, he might as well make it up for himself. You know?
Yeah.
And then instantly, as soon as he realizes he's got so many decisions, he should make it up for himself, he stops. He stops making decisions again. He's like, nope, it's not working. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm telling this story because it's the only story I like about Two-Face after Two-Face has already been made. So not his origin.
Yeah.
And the story is Batman's going through Arkham Asylum and all he's got to do is get out. And he can't. And then the end scene is Joker got like a gun or something to Batman's face. And he's like, I'm going to kill you. And then Batman's like, or, why don't we let Two-Face decide? Wouldn't that be fun, Joker? And Joker's like, yeah, you're right. You're right. So Batman flips the coin to Joker, and as soon as he catches it, he goes into his Two-Face, like, pose. Like, he was, like, curled up in his bed, and then he catches the coin and just rises like the villain he's meant to be. And I'm like, that is sick. And then Joker goes, okay, flip the coin, Dent. He flips the coin, lands, he goes, Batman has to be set free. And Joker's like, that's all fun and games. And then the last panel is, you see the coin wasn't on the right side. Harvey Dent made the decision to let Batman go because he gave him the coin. He gave Harvey Dent's purpose back, which then made him feel the need to let him be set free.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is such a perfectly executed moment with his character, his arc. You played with convention. So that's why I've got to put him in B for literally that story alone. Which I know you haven't read, so technically it's unfair. But like, yeah, there you go. So now you have the history.
We're just doing these rankings of what we know.
Yeah, and like the movies and the comics, just every media we have, we can combine here. Okay, now here's a controversial one. Harley Quinn. Now, this is where I ask you, are we going to only rank them on the villain side of their character? Or when they turned hero?
I was just going to say, just do their whole character.
Well, then I'm going to have to put her in E. If you told me to only do the villain side, I'd probably put her in A.
Yeah.
I love the Batman animated stuff, where I love the killing fish, or the Joker fish, where it's the domestic relationship between Harley and Joker. Obviously, I love the Harleen book. But it's everything after that I don't like. Where, she's now a member of the Bat family.
Well, when she goes good.
Yeah, she's the fun and games of the Suicide Squad. I love Suicide Squad. Only reason I haven't read more of the books, because Harley Quinn's in them all. I'm probably going to pick up the new Suicide Squad, where Peacemaker is the main character in it. Because I don't think Harley Quinn's in it. And that's what I want.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm going to put her in E. Because I like the stuff all before. You know?
Yeah.
In my Batman canon, she's still a villain. Because I'm like, if she's not a villain with the Joker, the domestic relationship, she's with Poison Ivy. Still a villain, but in a healthy relationship. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I may have to put her in B just because of my own thoughts on her. And how I'm like, to all the stuff where she's with the Bat family and she's in Suicide Squad. Because people clearly don't know. I don't have, I don't care about canon at all. I'm like, I don't care that Tom King's run is in the Scott Snyder's run, technically, because they come after each other. But I've only read so much. So I'm like, I like this part of the character, I like this part of the character, don't like that, so that's not in it. You know?
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Dan? What's your opinion?
Well, I don't have much exposure to Harley Quinn.
Other than, the movies.
I know her from the films, some of the games she's in.
Yeah, so what's your opinions on that?
It's I like her in the first Suicide Squad film.
Yeah.
But there's not much to like in that film, so...
Yeah, so she stands out as, a good part of it.
If the film was good, and a lot of the other side characters actually had something to them, she probably would not have been even thought of.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it? What else is she in? Birds of Prey?
Yeah. Just that one.
I like Margot Robbie as a character.
Yeah. And I like how she's pushing for the character and stuff.
Yeah. I just don't like that she was in Birds of Prey. I don't think she should have been there.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Birds of Prey...
that's typical Harley Quinn. She's in places she shouldn't be.
Yeah. And I think that's the problem. It's the same with the Joker. And I think... Because the original Birds of Prey was Barbara Gordon, Black Canary, Huntress. Perfect team. And now you throw Harley Quinn because you know a Birds of Prey movie wouldn't make anything. But
so you put Harley Quinn in the title.
Yeah, and I feel like she's going to be my least favourite part of the new Suicide Squad, James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Because
everything seems over the top, and I feel like the other characters are actually going to stand out more.
Yeah. And, you know
in this new one.
Not a lot makes me laugh. Not saying that don't have emotion. It's just that...
Yeah. It's difficult.
Comedy movies, comedy comics... being with friends, what makes me laugh? Reading or watching something never really makes me laugh. So with Joker and Harley Quinn, them trying to be funny, I'm just like, I'm just like, I don't care. You know?
I like her being funny when they're just evil and brutal.
Yes. Yeah.
Just when they're doing the most evil things, like killing Todd.
Yeah.
And then laughing about it.
Yeah, and when they're laughing, they're making jokes at Batman's expense. And Batman just has to deal with it, you know? Because Joker and Batman are complete opposites.
Yeah.
In, morality and stuff. So I think that's why Joker's such a good character. But Harley Quinn...
But one can't exist without the other.
Yeah. I think Harley Quinn, this is me basing off the Batman animated series, the Harleen book, and Batman White Knight, I'm putting her in B. If you made me think about the Suicide Squad and her being in the Bat family and, no offense, rubbish like that, then I'd put her in D or maybe even E because of that, you know? Which I feel bad, but that's my opinion. Where you putting her then? Where you putting Miss Harleen Quenzel? Stupid name.
I gotta say C, but because I really like her in Injustice. I know I mentioned Injustice again.
Yeah.
But I like her in that with like the Joker's been killed and then she sort of like turns sort of good. Then the second like an alternate verse Joker shows up, it's like, oh, she's evil again.
Yeah.
Like her loyalty is just based on his.
Yeah. I love the domestic abuse part of it. And I don't know how much of that is in Injustice. But
it's not. Well, Joker's not really there, so.
Yeah. Like,
I think he does beat her a bit.
Yeah. When I think of Harley Quinn, the thing I think of is when Joker, I think it may be in an animated series episode or it's in a animated series tie-in book, something like that, where Joker can get the laughing fish to work. Harley Quinn realizes that if you hang Batman upside down, the piranha's frowning faces look like smiles. She then goes to Joker and is like, hey, Puddin', look what I've done. He then pushes her out of the window and sets Batman free. Because he doesn't find it funny. And I'm like, that is perfect. You know?
Yeah.
And then she comes back again. Like in Harleen. Domestic abuse, and it's clear domestic abuse. There's a power dynamic, there's everything. And then at the very end of the book, she's like, I'm done with the Joker. Turns and there's one rose. And she's like, oh, Puddin'. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's why she's there.
I want them to show that in the films. Like, she's walked away from Joker now in the films, but I want to like to show her like just immediately go back to him without hesitation.
I really want to see Margot Robbie and like a Poison Ivy together and clearly have their relationship.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's fun. You know, they work together well. That was my favorite part of Final Crisis or whichever one where all the superheroes were going to therapy. You know? There's some weird... Identity Crisis. There you go. They all go to therapy. Poison Ivy accidentally dies. Harleen's involved. And then Poison Ivy comes back and, like, helps her. And can, like, not confront her, but helps her emotionally. Oh, now Mr. Fries. Mr. I killed the dinosaurs because of the Ice Age. You know?
Yeah.
I love how that's the only line I know from that film.
Especially the first 5 minutes. That's probably all you watch.
Oh yeah, I've never watched that film, and I ain't gonna. What the people watching has instantly seen. I've instantly put him in D. I love his backstory of his wife and everything. I love him in Batman White Knight. But there's nothing for that character for me. You know? I feel like he's good for one story. You get his backstory. You get his... the first mission where he has to go out and because he wants to get like money or whatever for his wife, new technology, tries to save her, explains it to Batman. Batman then brings him in, you know? He's like, I will work with you for this. Like he did in Batman White Knight. Helps him. Because Mr. Freeze is a good guy in Batman White Knight. And I like that. But then I've never read anything else with him in. And he's just so bland to me. Except from his backstory. Which I don't think makes a very good character.
We got very different opinions.
Oh, go on then. Go on then.
I was going to say put him in B.
Oh my god, put him in B. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Explain.
You know, a few weeks back, when we were prepping for these like DC Pictures things, and then I lost my mind on this Justice League thing.
Yeah.
I had some ideas, for some like Joker like style movies, like a universe like that and his villains.
Yeah.
And Mr. Freeze is one I really want to see in that.
Yeah.
Because I just, for no reason at all, I just love the character.
He literally, I think he's the only Batman villain who deserved one of those films because you could tell a story without Batman in it. Because he's just a guy going through depression, mourning his wife, going slightly insane due to the fact, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to argue against it because I think he's still a good character. But then, for one, I haven't seen him do enough. And for two, I don't really want to see him again.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I didn't mention it for Bane, but I thought Bane would make like a good sort of thing for that. But not like as much as Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
That's why I put Bane in high C.
Yeah, I agree with you with the Mr. Freeze like solo movie thing. Yeah. I think that's all I've got for Mr. Freeze, to be fair. It's just, that's just my opinion.
I haven't got much on him, just...
So,
like, yeah.
I think we're about halfway through now. Oh, no, we're more than half.
Well, I think we passed halfway a while ago.
No, we're on 7 now. We've done 7.
Oh, okay.
So, you've got Two-Face in C. I have him in B. You've put Scarecrow into D. And then the big... There's not a very much drastic thing, except for Mr. Freeze just then. Where you have him in B and I have him in D.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
It's very similar.
Yeah. Okay, who's next? Riddler. The fudging Riddler. Where's he going down?
Riddler, yay. I gotta think about this one, you know.
I hate most of the stories he's in. Zero Year, where he does, which is Scott Snyder's run, where he makes Gotham his own riddle palace or whatever.
Yeah.
Where he's hate him in that, hate him in Jokes and Riddles. The only thing I like him in is Batman Earth 1, Earth 2, whatever it is, where he's the main villain. But I think it's because he's I don't ever want him to be in the room. I always want him to be on a tannoy going, this is your riddle, escape. I want him to be Jigsaw, but he's just not. Like from Saw, you know?
Yeah.
And because he's not, I'm putting him in E next to Hush.
Oh, we got very different things on this.
Yeah. And I think he's too different to, too close to Joker in some aspects. You know? So where are you going to put him down?
Okay. Hear me out on this,
You thought about it now. You thought about it.
For me.
Yeah.
Okay. I know my C is very full.
Well, yeah,
but
it is.
Hear me out,
I'm not even
because I've watched Gotham, which you haven't.
Yeah. I don't even have room to put it. I'm going to have to nudge Harley Quinn just a little bit. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen Gotham, yeah, you haven't.
Yes.
It's because, one of, the things in there is, Court of Owls related.
Yeah.
And they get him trapped in there because they give him a riddle he can't solve. And it just drives him nuts.
Okay. I like that idea.
I love that aspect of it.
Comics before as well. But yeah, okay.
And the whole he works for the police force and no one really respects him, and he just he gets pretty much bullied at work, and he slowly goes insane.
We haven't mentioned one thing. What about Jim Carrey's Riddler? What about him?
Oh no, just
no.
I think it's good casting, but
yeah. And we've discussed this a lot. I want to see David Tennant play him, which we're getting him in the new Batman film, which I feel like he's going to be more of a Jigsaw, villain from Seven sort of
I forgot he's in the new Batman film.
Yeah, he's the main villain, along with Bullseye's Penguin, because obviously he's been played by Colin Farrell. We do this for Daredevil. We do this for any number of characters, but I feel like Batman and Spider-Man will have the longest ones. You know.
Well, some other characters, I feel like it's going to be more Justice League villains instead of doing Superman villains.
Yeah.
But
and we can always do
we done with Riddler?
Moon Knight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 villains he has.
Oi, watch it, Dan. Okay, who's next now?
Who's next?
Killer Croc, your bloody favourite. Put him right in A for you, innit?
Yeah, thank you.
Where are you putting him, Dan?
A.
Are you actually? You're ridiculous.
Yeah,
you know
I love this, man.
You're ridiculous. Why are you putting him in A? I was making a joke about it.
No, like, seriously, for some reason I love this character.
Yeah, because you've read the Arkham book with, like,
yeah,
his
I've read
Arkham
the Arkham
book.
thing, so I have a bit of bias towards him.
Yeah. I think...
Like, I really wanted him to be great in the Suicide Squad film, but, you know, he wasn't.
He's just not. I'm putting him in high D only because of the Batman Earth 1, Earth 2, whatever, where Batman and Killer Croc come to an agreement because he's like, why are you fighting me? And they're both like, I don't know. And also, I like the idea that he's just been bullied out of society. Like, what's wrong with Killer Croc? Oh yeah, he just got bullied because he looks different. And I'm like, fair enough. You know?
Yeah, that's realistic.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think... Why do you
probably
like
see
him
a
so
pattern
much?
when we do other... Probably see a pattern, yeah, when we do other... What is it? Other characters.
Yeah.
Seem to get drawn more towards characters that are just animalistic.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think I've said to you before, like, I love King Shark and Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah. Okay, quickly explain why you like Killer Croc so much.
I can't even explain it. Like, there's no real reason to it. I just love the character. I like the look of him. I love him in the Arkham games where he's just like, he's very minor.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd make a good, like, this is the lead villain.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Like,
let's move on
he's
then.
definitely not going to go there.
Jason Todd or Red Hood in general. I like him in the same way I like Harley Quinn. If they never became a Bat family member and they carried on being a villain, I would like him way more. You know?
Like Jason Todd's origin.
Yeah. How he's like Batman's biggest mistake. How he then came back to haunt Batman and stuff. But other than that, I don't care about him being a hero.
It's in some stories, it's like he's angry about because Batman, he got killed by the Joker and Batman wouldn't kill him.
Exactly, but I think that's good. Like, I'd love to see Joker die. Yeah, in main comics, and then have Red Hood take the place of the Joker in Batman's, like, Rogues Gallery. Where Red Hood... Because I feel like Red Hood could have been, after Under the Red Hood story, the next big, like, villain, you know?
Yeah.
Hush should have been a Red Hood story. Jason Todd was in that.
Yeah.
Because Clayface disguises himself as Jason Todd to fool Batman.
Oh, yeah, and it messes with Batman's head.
And then, when Jason Todd came back, they retconned that was actually Jason Todd. And then him and Clayface swap places. Which I'm like, that's not necessary. I'm putting him in C just because of the same reason why I've put Harley Quinn in B. Ignoring all of his hero antics with Artemis and Bizarro. You know? I'll keep him in C. Now, where are you going to put Jason Todd, Dan? If he's even here at the moment. And I don't think he is. Might as well carry on.
Okay, back. Yeah, sorry, my phone froze.
No worries. So, I just finished up talking about Jason Todd. So, where are you going to put him?
Yeah. I don't like him. Really, at all.
So, E, F? Is this going to be your first
I don't think he's bad
tier?
enough to be F, because I sort of... For me, E.
Is this you...
Not F, because his origin idea is...
Yeah. Is this you thinking about him as a hero as well? Because I just discussed how I don't like him as a hero. You know?
Oh, I don't like him as a hero at all, no.
Yeah, and how... But I'm ignoring that the same way I'm ignoring it with Harley Quinn. You know?
I just include in everything I know about the character.
Yeah. Fair enough. That's your first in E. My first was Hush. I
like the idea of him,
yeah.
but like...
I don't know if you heard this, but I thought Hush would make a great Jason Todd story.
Oh, yeah. I heard you mention about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, like, I like the idea of Jason Todd. Like, he's the Robin who died.
Yeah,
but it didn't break Batman.
Idea. I wish it broke Batman more.
Like, as you've heard, like, when I done my Justice like Batman pitch, it's like Dick Grayson dies and it breaks Batman.
Yeah.
Like Jason Todd,
I don't
doesn't.
like it breaking him. I like the idea that it's just always at the back of his mind. And then it made a great way for Tim Drake to come in as Robin, as Batman started going off the chain a bit, didn't want another Robin, and Tim Drake forced himself to be the Robin that Batman needed. And I like that.
Yeah.
But then, let's just move on. I think, because this one's going a little bit long. Razz Algool, or Raish, whatever anyone wants to call it.
Well, I know your opinions on this character.
Do you? Where do you think I'm going to put him?
I swear you said to me in the past that you don't really like him that much.
Yeah. I think I'm going to put him in D. Only because I like the Talia al Ghul stuff. I like him and Bruce Wayne's relationship. I like the 70s version where he was the arch nemesis. I like the Damian stuff for the most part. So yeah, I'm just going to put him in D straight away. Just quickly, D.
Yeah. I got to the same, to be honest, D.
Okay, good. Because if you said, like, C again, I was going to kill you. You ain't got no room.
Like, I like him in, what is it? He's in Gotham, and I like him in that, like, being involved in...
Is he in Gotham?
Batman's origin.
That's surprising.
Yeah, he's, like, training Batman as, like, a kid and involved with his origin.
Oh, yeah, so they did, like, the Dark
And it's
Knight
still sort of, it's like the, I'm trying to make you my replacement thing, but...
Alright, yeah. Makes sense, I guess.
And, like, he's in Arrow, but that's sort of, like, a bit of a mess.
Is he in Arrow? That's weird.
Yeah, he's one of the main villains.
I like
they do basically do the Batman story of he's trying to, just instead of him trying to make Bruce Wayne the next Razz Algool, he's trying to make Oliver Queen the next Razz Algool.
I don't like that. And I like his Lazarus Pit. There you go.
Yeah.
And now who's the last one?
I like more around him, not him.
Yeah. Penguin. Penguin is so boring. He is so boring for me. His penguin-related crimes,
Is he the last one?
Yeah. I may put him in F. Because the only stories I like him in is in the Telltale version and the Earth 1 version where he's like running for mayor and he has a relationship with Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I like him when he's running for mayor and he's like a public figure, but he's...
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows he's a dick.
All Penguin stories, except for the ones where he robs an egg or a crystal in the shape of a penguin, could go to Two-Face. You know?
Yeah.
But,
I don't like him in, what is it? It's Batman Returns he's in. And it's like, he's just like this deformed baby and he got thrown in the sewers.
Yeah, I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense.
Like,
I like Danny DeVito, though. Who doesn't like Danny DeVito? So where are you going to put
my
it down?
opinion might change in the new Batman, when the new Batman film comes out.
Yeah, but that's what they're doing. They're making him a mayor, because that's the only story he works well in. But then, he's not even
they did it. He's a big character in Gotham, and that's pretty much what they do. They've just made him mayor. I like the slow climb up the ranks of the criminals and, like, snitching his way to the top.
Yeah, I've seen, like, one episode of it, and it's got him in it. And I was like, oh, this is fun. And then, but it wasn't fun enough for me to carry on watching, you know?
Yeah. He's got to be D for me. Like, he's got good ideas, but I don't think none of it's really executed well.
I honestly think I'm just like, you know?
Before I watched Gotham, I would have said F.
Yeah. Because, literally, like what I've just said, all of his stories are like, he's a mayor, he's a political, he knows Bruce Wayne. That's just describing Two-Face. You know?
Yeah.
But then I guess Harvey Dent is a lot more... Harvey Dent is the good side of being a mayor. The Two-Face is the bad. And then Penguin's just
the
bad.
corrupt, evil one.
Yeah, but I'm like, you could just make that Two-Face anyway. You know? I think that belongs. Because I don't like characters being useless. And I think that's what Penguin is. He's a villain who doesn't need to be a villain. Because...
He's not a physical threat. He has to be mayor just so he doesn't get taken down in 5 seconds.
Exactly. But I'm like, that's a Two-Face story then. You know?
Yeah.
And
Difference Two-Face could be a physical threat.
Yeah, and Penguin doesn't have the fun backstory or origin that Two-Face does.
I don't even really know Penguin's backstory. Like,
Neither
it's
do I.
everything I've seen him in is different.
Yeah.
So
like the Telltale one is my favorite, is where the Cobblepots was a rich family with the Waynes, and then when the Waynes died, the Cobblepots took a toll, like money financially, and then Cobblepot comes back to talk to Bruce, and then just slowly becomes a political villain. And I'm like, yeah, but that could also have been the Dents. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, there you go. There's our opinions on Batman villains. There's not a lot of difference. Big difference.
Main ones is on like
Killer Croc, Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
And kind of Penguin, but that's about it. Because we put Razz Algool in the same place. Bane in the same place. Scarecrow in similar places.
My C tier is very crowded.
Yes. Well, so is your D tier. You've got 4 in both.
Exactly.
And then mine is spread out. So I've got 3 in C and D, 2 in B, 2 in E, 1 in A, and 1 in F. So mine's like this nice little pyramid.
Because a lot of Batman villains have one good thing.
Yeah.
And the rest is just overuse.
Yeah.
That's why I like Killer Croc, because he's a good villain, but he doesn't get used that much.
I think there's a lot of like stupidity in Batman villains where it's like, no, they do the same thing. Like Penguin, Two-Face. Bane has...
That's why he takes some of them down so easy.
The Nightfall could have been a Talia al Ghul story. You know? Where instead of breaking it, she breaks him only mentally. Riddler is very Joker-like.
They've had him be broken mentally.
Yeah. Riddler is very Joker-like. Hush reminds me of Jason Todd. You know?
Yeah.
So it's just like... And then we haven't even gotten on to like... I should have probably put Poison Ivy here.
What, Poison Ivy and Catwoman?
Yeah. We're definitely going to do a part 2 to this. Where those two are going to be involved. Quick opinions. I don't think Poison Ivy even feels like a Batman villain. You know?
No. That's for part 2 though. Don't get into it now.
And Clayface. Even though I'd rather Killer Croc than Clayface, and they do practically the same thing. And Man-Bat. But there you go. So, that was our ranking. Any final notes, Dan?
Killer Croc is a sexy beast.
You know what? You're a weird guy. You're a weird guy, Dan.
Yeah, that's my final thoughts.
Killer Croc is sexy. Alright then. This has been the Amalgam Hour podcast. Thanks for listening.